The time of boat projects has begun. I've been procrastinating pretty seriously on working on the tricolor. That's the light on top of the mast that I'm gonna need if I want to do a nighttime sail. I cleaned, serviced 2 winches, did a few other things, even cut my nails. So I guess now I have no choice but to actually work on this. I'm procrastinating just because I don't know what I'm gonna find, and I think it's gonna be kind of annoying. But it's gotta be done. Better start now. So this is by the head. It's a little DC distribution panel. Old, I think I want to replace this at some point, but it flips down. We got all these wires. These ones go into the mast. Gonna take this off so I can see a little bit better. And one of these is the lights. That definitely does not look good. A little corrosion there. I might have to end up replacing these wires, but first is to figure out, use the voltmeter to figure out if power's even going through it, what goes what, and then go from there. I've got a bunch of this mess figured out. So this is my power in, and then previously it was connected to this jumble of wires, and it would light up all these. Now, when it was connected before, I used the voltmeter to test the current here, and it was around 1 volt, and it should be 13 something volts. But when you test here, it's 13. So the wires coming here, no good. Now, I took all that apart, and then I'm pretty sure this is the running lights. And I connected it directly to here just to see what happened. But it's the middle of the day in the Caribbean, and I can't see if the running light turns on or off at all. So I don't know if that works. I don't know if this works. I suspect it does, just because there doesn't seem to be much room for corrosion here. But that being said, all these look melted. I don't know what's going on there. So I still want to do the DC distribution panel here. I'm hoping I can find one that'll just fit there. Probably gonna have to go do some shopping for that. And then I think I need to do something so that this doesn't have just, there's like this jumble of 4 wires just pushed into there, and that was actually no good. I do have a terminal bus I can put somewhere here. Probably fill it in there maybe. Now the one thing I really don't like is this power is the same one that runs the lights and the fans in the salon. So that means in order to have anchor light, running light, yada yada yada, I would have to turn on the salon and then individually turn everything off on there. So I could have an anchor light at night but not have the fans and lights going. So I might try to figure out how to do something there so that it's not connected like that. But I think for the short term, I'll just deal with it and continue on, because it involves ripping out a lot of stuff, I think, or doing a lot of changes to make that happen. So progress, it's really not that hard. It's just a lot of wires, and you gotta feel confident just cutting things and seeing what happens. This is a huge mess. I don't even know what this goes to. It's probably not good. This is probably wind instruments or something. I don't know. Who knows how much of this is alive and how much of it is just dead wire. All right, next step is look into buying something to replace this. And then maybe tonight I can see if the running lights even work at all. Also, I need to go up the mast to see if that's getting voltage up there. I think I'm gonna wait for someone to be around so I don't accidentally fall and die. We're on our way to the store. Up on the top of the mast, and here's the tricolor. Top came off easy, a little too easy. Mast stuff always scares me a bit, at least at first. It's the heights, the boat's moving, but after a little while it's fine. So I can't get these screws out to get this off. Can't get those screws out to get the whole thing off. Everything's corroded. The wire colors don't match what's downstairs. This is going about as good as boat projects go. So I'm back down from the mast. I didn't finish anything, but I have a better idea of what to do up there. Plan tomorrow is to try to get some stuck screws out there that I could not get off today. And if I can, then I can redo pretty much everything there. If I can't, then I'm going to just work with what's there, clean it off, and I think that'll actually be fine. I would like to redo it, but if I can't, I can't. During my morning doom scroll, I came across some information that is really making me reconsider this whole sailing thing. As anyone knows me knows, I'm a huge Beach Boys fan, especially the Manson years. My favorite Full House episodes, the Beach Boys ones. And the whole reason I got into this sailing thing was I had this mental image as clear as tropical water of me sailing into Kokomo. And I learned today Kokomo's not a real place. I think they made it up just because they couldn't find an island that rhymed with the word snow. Not really sure what I'm gonna do, but I think I need to sit down and really think about things. Back up the mast. I gave up trying to get this plate off, and now I'm just trying to figure out which wires are which on here, so I can connect them properly and know what they are down there. Oh, every screw on this boat's a challenge. I only need the crimpers, wire cutters, a screwdriver, and housing.
Okay.
All right, the big test. I've attached all the wires. Jed's gonna plug it in, and hopefully from here we can see whether it lights up or not. Got a running light here. It's a little hacky how I got it in, so I've got to do something to fix that. But at least all the electricity gets there and it works. The anchor light bulb burnt out, so I have to replace that, so I got to come back up anyways. Went up the mast, but had to come back down because the bulbs that Jed lent me weren't the right orientation, so I bought 4 new ones for the low price of 127 euros total. They're like 33 euros a pop. These aren't cheap. Hopefully you never have to replace them. They are the correct orientation. So, gonna go up in a minute to replace them. Here's the part trying to replace. You can see on this side, it has a plastic holder there that goes through it. And on this side, it's ripped off. Put some epoxy on there. It's not quite taking, so it's not super strong. I have no idea if this epoxy is even meant to touch plastic, or if epoxy in general is meant to touch plastic and connect metal, but I think it'll probably be good enough. We're back up here, putting it back in, so you can see I added a little extension cord to this wire, so it comes around the other side, and then the connector that we epoxied in should be able to connect there. So just have to put a light bulb in and then put the mounting on. Yay, we've got light.
Tricolor now.
Tricolor's working.
Then I'll go the other way.
We've got tricolor.
Now you have to figure out which switch you want to put it on.
And we have anchor. Yay. Now we're looking at my steaming light. You can see it's just opaque, cracked. Rip this off. I'm hoping the old one will go in well, but we'll see. 2 screws came out fine. 1 is putting up a fight. I hate this about doing boat work. I don't remember where my vice grips are to try to rip this screw off. So Jed's off getting his pair because that's easier than bringing me down and me finding them. I've got to figure out how to mount the old one, or the new one, to the old one, which is not obvious. That light is my anchor light and tricolor, burning bright in the night. So this mount does not have the same screw holes as the other one. So I've drilled one hole here, and now I've lined them up so I can drill the other hole, and then I should just be able to put this on the same mount. Actually, it goes like that, but still. And that should just work great. Because it's not quite right, I had to drill away a big chunk of this. Not a huge chunk, just to get the screw in properly. Tropic bird coming back after dumping its poop out into the ocean. We're back up the mast, working on getting the steaming light on. I've got this, which I've drilled the holes in as before. I also put some thread through where the electrical cables go, so I can hopefully pull the existing electrical through there, and hope that works. Can't film it because I'm terrified of not having my hands on stuff, but you'll see the results. Alright, so we're all plugged in. Jed's going down to try to turn it on, and we'll see what happens. I think I did everything right. This was a major pain. It's not really in there as solidly as I want it, but currently I don't have a good other solution. I'll revisit it later. It's around 11 at night. I went for my very first night dive today, which was super cool. It was just sort of a totally different experience when you're surrounded by blackness diving underwater. Then I went out to eat, which I didn't share in after, but I really wanted to finish up doing stuff for my lights, which meant setting up the switch panel. So I've done it for the running lights and the anchor light. So I added this bus bar here and then brought power to it. And then this is the common ground for the anchor and tricolor running lights. And then for one of them, come here to the switch and then connect. The other one to the switch and connect. I'm happy to have some running lights and all that now, and an anchor light. Finally an anchor light. This is becoming a real boat, ever so slowly. So all my lights are done, so that makes me happy. I'm moving into the dock later, so I'm gonna be there for a little while. Gotta prep for that, and I gotta clean up after all these projects. Probably need to take a shower at some point. Pretty productive time, pretty productive week. I'm pretty happy with what I've accomplished.